Mystic is truly an instrument like no other. It uses 3 parallel comb filters to create its sound. A comb filter is simply a filter like the ones we've been playing with on other instruments that has notches in its frequency response, which if you look at graphically resembles a comb. The filters are also looped back into themselves, which you can see displayed here. This creates a resonating tone. Before we do anything, let's have a quick listen to the sound as is so we can hear the changes as we make them. We're not going for any specific sound here. I'm only giving you specific values so you can follow along. None of the values I give you have to be exactly the right number. Just get it close and we'll all be in the same ballpark. The best place to start is right here in the top middle. Right in the center is where we can choose the impulse sound. Clicking on the name here, we have 6 different options. I'm going to go with partial add 5. Pressing a few keys, you can hear that the sound didn't really change much, but by the time we're done, it'll be drastically different. This is the sound that will be fed into these filters on the left and right. Before we get into moving these knobs around and adjusting the filters, we need to adjust envelope 1 and 2, which are part of the signal chain. We can see that both envelopes are set to produce a short, abrupt sound, which you can hear when pressing the keys. Make sure you have the envelope tab selected down here and select envelope 1. Set the attack to 28, the decay to 0, the release to 28, and the sustain to 100. If you're not sure what these items do, make sure you check out the monologue chapters where we have some fun toying around with them. We'll talk about these mod and velocity destination parameters a little later on. For now, jump over to envelope 2. Set the attack to 2, the decay to 17, the release to 28, and the sustain to 5. It's still not there yet, but we have a lot of tweaking to do. Let's go back up here and mess around with these 2 comb filters. The amazing thing about these filters is that we can choose a preset from the menus here and here, or we can just select Custom and click and drag the contour to our liking. Notice that any changes we make to one filter will show up inverted on the other. If you want to change each of them independently, just hold down Shift. I think something like this will work for now. Now let's mess around with this set of controls in the middle. The first one we need to adjust is Cut. This actually offsets the frequency of the filter contour, which basically means it works just like a standard cutoff on a filter. If you want to be able to use the filter's full frequency range, just crank this right up. Let's put it just short of that, around 92. Now let's change the damping setting. This contour is a -6 dB low-pass filter that affects the sound going back into the filters. Let's crank it up to around 80. That's sounding a lot better. It sounds sort of like an electric harpsichord if there is such a thing. We can slightly tune the impulse sound using this coarse knob, but I think it's fine as it is.